Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Wow Wednesday. As you likely know, I am your host, Nancy Matthews, bringing you this midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration. And doing it midweek very intentionally because I bet, when you got up on Monday, perhaps you even tuned into our guest's Monday Facebook Live, got your excitement and your motivation up, and then Tuesday, maybe something happened on Monday afternoon or Tuesday, and then Wednesday, too many people think of it as hump day, which is only about looking forward to the weekend. But we've got this moment right now to get in a high vibration, raise ourselves up to meet and live the life we dream of and we desire. So that's why we do this midweek boost on Wednesday, and we call it Wow Wednesday so that you can give every day that weekend feeling. So I trust you're going to feel that today for sure with our guest, Tasha Chen. Welcome, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, thank you. Feels like coming home.
I know, right? I just want to, let's have some coffee or tea.
I know.
It's so good. So, for everyone listening in, you may feel it already that Tasha and I have a very close relationship. We'll talk a little bit about our history together. And I want you to remember this show is for you to tap into what it is that you desire. And that's why we bring you this weekly show to give you the tools and resources and support to get what you want. So today, our conversation is going to be probably one that you haven't looked at before or maybe touched on the surface of. And that conversation is, could a hidden money trauma be what's keeping you stuck financially? So just kind of sink that in for a minute. Our guest and my dear, dear friend, Tasha Chen, is the number one, and I mean this, the number one manifestation and wealth mentor for women entrepreneurs and executives. She's the creator of the Wealth Alignment Method and the co-founder of the Science of Getting Rich Academy. She has been working with women to support them in this and teaching this wealth alignment method. She's helped over 20,000 people find ease and joy to enjoy quality time with their families, manifest tremendous levels of wealth, and have freedom to do what it is that they love. With Tasha's coaching and proprietary methods, her community has manifested, dig this, $163 million, and it's still growing. She probably has a bigger number today from when she sent this to me a week ago. She's a highly sought after author, international speaker, and mindset mastery expert who works with go getters, impact makers, and action takers. And here she is today. So glad to be with you, my friend.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Nancy. And it's now officially 165 million.
I knew it was more.
So we can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Nancy. It's so good to be here.
It is wonderful to have you, and I want to just dive right into this conversation because there's a lot that we could explore, blow open to support our community in getting what it is they want. So let's talk about this for a minute. These I do affirmations. I've done the science of getting rich. I've read the books. I do all the things. Why isn't it happening? I know there's somebody feeling that right now out there
Yep.
because I've heard it, I've seen it, I used to experience it myself, right?
Yes.
So let's jump right in, and because you began in this process, mentoring and guiding people in the science of getting rich, and that's one of the things that we have in common.
Yes. Yes.
So go ahead and dive in. How did you develop all of this?
I think the best way to explain how I came to learn about money traumas in the first place is to tell you a little bit about me, which is I am my own lab rat, right? Like I am the person who puts my life under the microscope and go, my daughter has this saying and I absolutely love it. Make it make sense. It's not making sense. I'm doing all the
Mhm.
right things. I'm hardworking. I'm smart. I feel like I have great business acumen. I have a great product and service to bring to the world. I'm doing all the right things, checking all the boxes, right? My affirmations, my journal, my visualizing. I've invested in all these programs. And man, it is just not showing up in the bank account. And for me, this, I mean, it is a work in progress, right? 12 years in the making. But the first time that the signal went off in my brain was probably back in 2013. I had invited a group of women to work with me for 3 months of accountability coaching. And as I extended this invitation, I said, and the
Mhm.
price for this will be $25 in total, not even per month, right? $25 for 90 days of coaching.
Yeah.
And, honestly, I was like, all right, that's where I'm at. I should note that this was after I got bullied into charging in the first place because I was totally prepared to do it for free. And so I agreed and I said $25. And maybe a month or so into it, as I saw all the results that the women were having, I really had to ask myself, like, Tasha, what's up? $25? You're not paying anybody $25 for coaching. Why are you charging that? And Nancy, the answer lied in an experience I had one night 2 years prior, 2 or 3 years prior. I was having a
Mhm.
routine money fight with my then husband. And he said, what are you doing to contribute to the financials and the budgets of the family? And he had his like handy dandy family budget spreadsheet open. And I started to defend myself by saying, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm cleaning the house. I'm running the show over here. And he said, none of that can go on this spreadsheet.
Mm.
And I heard, not he said, I heard, you have no value. And I made an agreement. I was so hurt. I was so, I have goosebumps telling it. I was so crushed in that moment. I remember making an agreement. I will never put myself in a position to have to defend my value ever again. So what do I do 3 years later in business? I charge $25
So
for
there's no
3 months of
defending.
coaching, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to argue with that? Nobody. So this was my first realization that that trauma event had caused me to make an agreement that was showing up in my business and ultimately my financial results. And then over the years, I just kept looking like, make this make sense. Why am I doing this? Another time, a woman showed up ready to write me a check for $25,000. And I was like, no, 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 nope, 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 stop. Go pay the $5,000 thing. And I realized after I reflected, that's a result of my trauma that says, if I didn't work hard for it, I don't deserve it. I didn't earn it,
Mhm.
right? And so 12 years later, I have come up with a list of 16 different money traumas. And this weekend, I'm going to reveal a 17th because life keeps on lifing. We keep learning.
Yeah.
But for the woman out there who is like, I'm doing all the right things and something is not clicking, it's not making sense, I'm not getting there. I want to ask you this question. Have you ever, at any point in your life, had an experience that left you feeling unloved, unsafe, abandoned, or in some way inadequate, and money was involved? And if the answer is yes, then you have experienced money trauma and you have what's called post-financial, uh,
Traumatic
yeah,
stress. Yeah.
disorder,
Yeah.
post-traumatic financial disorder. And so that means that your brain is going, money is not safe. It's not safe. Do not come. It's not safe. And no matter how much you do, how brilliant you are, how hard you work, you have something way more powerful internally saying no to money and financial success. And so here we are for this conversation this morning.
Yeah, and I think that what we were just peeling away the beginning of, and this is going to be a peeling away, as Tasha shared. She had 16, and now there's a 17th because life keeps lifing, and
Yep.
keep paying attention and keep learning and growing, and that's so vital. That what I've often shared with clients when I'm working with them is if there's things that you say that you want and
Mm-hmm.
you're doing the affirmations and it's not working, that indicates that there's something going on beneath the
Yeah.
surface that you're likely unaware of
Yeah.
that's actually running the show. And that's what we're like, to have that moment where you're like, "Oh, $25, I pay way more than that with coaching with others. Look at the results people are getting.
Yeah.
Hmm, where's the root? Where's this coming from?" Right. And not everybody knows to look for that, or and that's why we need mentors and
Yeah.
coaches to guide us in the process. And it's not always easy. It can be scary to try to go down that path by yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a courageous woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of two things, right? You either get to the point where you're like, this is so exhausting. It's so hard. It doesn't make sense. Like I've had enough. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to create this change. Or you really just get to the place where you're like, I'm going to be courageous enough to look at this because it's costing me dearly, you know?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it
Yeah.
requires a lot of courage.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to dive in to some of the traumas, give some great support for you today. And I want to invite you. Tasha is doing a 5-day Wealth with Ease activation that starts next week. And I love that it's an activation and wealth with ease. I come from that work hard, you'll gotta earn. I come from that. And for me, it's been a continuous learning to relax and allow. And I'm going to tell you, I still, so I'm coming to the activation because I got some stuff I still want to clear. Because I
Please
still
discuss.
sometimes, yeah, I still sometimes think that I have to work hard. And when I look at the end of the month, and I was, away for 2 months this year, and then I just got back from another vacation. I had 3 other vacations. It's like there's still money in the bank. There's still money coming in. Huh.
I love it.
I still get a little surprised, and it's turning into I get tickled. Like, oh, of course it's that way.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, we want you to join us for the Wealth with Ease activation. Simply go to tashachen.com/WPN. So tashachen.com/Tasha WPN, and join us for Wealth with Ease activation. It's going to be good. We'll tell you more about that, but let's talk about and give us, do you want to share what some of these traumas are and how we can all right.
Yeah.
I turn it back over to you, my friend.
There's 17 of them, right? I've been teaching. I got this beautiful list that I'll share with everyone during the 5-day activation. And for years, it's been 16. And this past week, sitting in the bank myself, I was like, duh, there is number 17. So now there's 17. And I can tell you, I think it's important to know that I created this list from my life and then observing, wow, I'm not alone. I've served, I have an email list of over 50 something, 60,000 women. I've served a lot of women. I have the data to prove many of us have experienced every time I do this, the average number out of 16 that women say they have is about 12 or 13 of the 16 traumas. Yeah. So I'm not alone. And I would say it's safe to say that many of you that are listening have probably experienced some of these traumas. But these I'm about to share with you are what I have found to be the top 4 more easily identifiable ones. Like soon as I say this, everyone goes, yep. And I'm going to start with this idea that you have experienced some kind of emotional pain and money was involved. And it usually comes, this specific trauma, from one of two places. A, in your childhood, watching your parents fight or struggle over money, watching them break apart, watching them argue over money. And it's just like, man, you as the child observing and taking on the energy of the emotional pain, watching your two parents go through this, right? And you are fully aware money is involved. The other one is for those of us who are divorced and we fell in love, goo goo gaga, right? This is going to be the guy for the rest of my life. You built a life, you had kids, you did all the things to grow your assets. And then here comes this day where you are just like at each other's throats over money, you know?
Mm,
And the pain of that is incredibly traumatizing. And so many women, I would say if I could guess, 80 to 90% of the women that I serve have experienced an emotional pain and money was involved, right?
mhm.
So that's number one. The other one is for those of us mid-wisers, where
Oh yeah. Am I allowed to say tomorrow's your birthday?
yes, go ahead.
I just did it anyway. We'll sing happy birthday for sure. So I like this mid-wiser.
Aw. So there are two experiences, and I want to say that trauma and money traumas, right? They can be experienced in one of two ways. Many times it's life that's lifed and causes to have experiences that, relate to money traumas. But there are other ways where we self-inflict the trauma. And that to me is fascinating. Watching myself do this was very interesting. So here are the two that I would say fall into that category. You have at some point in your life lost a substantial amount of money. You stay awake at night in the woulda, coulda, shoulda. You beat yourself up
Mhm.
over and over and over again about it. And you literally self-inflict trauma, right? So that is number one. The other one is by this point in our lives, 40s, 50s, probably more 50s, 60s, we start going, man, I'm not where I want to be financially. And we make ourselves so wrong. We make ourselves so shamed, so feeling guilty.
Mhm.
It is like the worst case of self-inflicting trauma because you make yourself feel inadequate, not good enough, not smart enough, not wise enough, right? You actually make yourself feel unloved. Remember, trauma is anything that has caused you to feel unloved, unsafe, inadequate, or abandoned. And so I know many women, we do that to ourselves, right? We look at our finances and we're like, man, or we look at our business results. This is not where I wanted to be. What am I doing wrong? And you just go over and over and over, traumatizing yourself. So those are the top three. And then the fourth one, religious guilt.
Mm.
Feeling wrong or ashamed or guilty for having the desire for money in the first place when we were raised to believe that to do that is sinful, it's wrong, it's greedy, you're a bad, bad girl. And so imagine that internal battle of, but man, first of all, I can't survive. I cannot survive without money and having the desire for money. And so it's
Mhm.
like beating yourself up for wanting to breathe. That literally is
Oh,
what it
well,
is.
that's good. That is
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Well, and if your family environment still subscribes to those beliefs,
yeah.
then it's compounded because then you don't want to, you'll be judged, if you should go ahead and share those things, right?
Yeah, and now we're talking about another trauma right there. Oh, that's a whole other one.
Right.
Right? So yeah, I would
Yeah.
say of the now 17, the easy for once I list these, everyone's like, yeah, that's me. Out of the 12 or 13, I get those four for sure right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay. So we're all going to come to the Wealth with Ease activation next week. And it's free, by the way. There's a VIP option, but it's free. So why would you not? Hello.
Yeah.
Um, so now that I found these traumas, what do I do?
There's something that's really important, and I want to say this in the context of what to do. Before you continue to make yourself wrong, understand, like I always say, I want to help women understand that A, we're unique, and B, if you know what's happening, it helps you 80 to 90% solve it. So we have to
True.
understand that our brains, like the brain, we all know this, we're all evolved enough to know that the brain has a response to trauma. But in women, ladies, for us, it's especially intense. We actually have more acute trauma effects than men do because there's a part of the brain where we have increased blood flow during traumatic experiences where that regulates our emotions. And so when you have this traumatic experience that's very emotional, you have more blood flowing there in your brain than a man does, which means you actually, women have higher and more acute responses to trauma that involves money, right? That is the first one. And also understanding when you make yourself wrong because you are seeing yourself procrastinate, you're seeing yourself, um, just not get going. You're afraid, you have an intense amount of fear, and you're like, why?
Mhm.
I can do this. I have this business idea. Why am I not getting stuff done? Why am I not going out there and speaking? Why am I not putting my course out there? Why am I not getting on Facebook? Anything that's going to generate money for you, you are having a physiological fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response because your brain is saying you are not safe to do this.
Mhm.
And you have to understand that. Now, when you understand that, what do? For me, if I didn't understand, I would just further make myself wrong
Yeah.
and not really know how to solve it. So it requires reprogramming your brain. But the very first step is to say, I'm aware of these money patterns that I'm in. I'm aware that past experiences are causing me to have these responses. I'm not a bad girl. I'm not wrong. I'm not smart. It's none of those things. I've had experiences in my life that cause my brain to say money isn't safe. That's just what's going on. Like call it what it is, acknowledge it.
Let's take a breath here because how liberating that is.
Yeah.
I really want you all to give yourself this moment in time to say, oh, I'm not bad. I'm not stupid. I'm not lazy. I'm not all of these things. What the heck is wrong? All of those questioning things when we see ourselves not taking the actions we know would make a difference. Like we
Yeah.
this would help if I actually did this, but why am I not doing it? And we might call them sabotages but sabotage imposes guilt. Even if you call it, which is not
Exactly.
helpful.
Exactly. I like to say one of my things, we have a lot of talk out there about your money blocks, right? Your money blocks are scientifically your brain trying to protect you.
Correct.
That's all it is,
It
right?
is. It
Yeah.
is. And I love that we can be on this same wavelength, of course, my friend. Because when you take that pause and say, oh, I've had experiences in the past that created this belief that money is not safe. My brain is doing its job. Like
Yeah.
your subconscious mind, its prime directive is to keep you safe. And the best way it knows how to keep you safe and alive. Let's talk about it. When it gets down to it, its job is to keep you alive, keep you away from that tiger that's going to attack you,
Yeah.
and all of that. And right now, you are alive. Oh, you want more money? That's not safe. I can keep you right where I am right now. Let's have you not feel like doing something. Let's have you be scared. Oh, I want to do this. That's why when we go to events and we get inspired and we're on fire and everything's going to be great and we're doing our affirmations in the morning and we start to vision ourselves at the next level, your subconscious says, whoa, Nelly, isn't it safe for you over there? Right?
There's a big tiger over there. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're so
so
right, Nancy, that it's so freeing. That's what I want everyone to hear,
yeah,
And then
yeah.
the next step, so the first thing is just to call it what it is. This is what it is, and this is what's happening. And then the next thing is to choose. We have the most powerful thing, which is free will. This will not define me. This is not who I am. My traumas are not who I am. My traumas will not limit me. They will not keep me here. I have the ability to rewire and reprogram my brain. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to choose to do that. And so the process of healing
Mm,
is, oh my God, it is your free ticket out of the prison of these traumas. I'm telling you, like my name is Tasha because I've done it. The list of 17 are my life. I would not be here had I not A, just called it what it was, looked at the patterns and said, this is why each of these things are happening over and over and over and over again. And I will not allow this to define or limit me. I'm going to do the work to heal them. And then the
mhm,
third thing, and we're going to talk about this a lot more next week during the 5-day Wealth with Ease activation, is you have to embody. And that's another reason, you can affirm till the cows come home. But if you don't get up and then walk out in your life, in the world, and embody, I am a healed, wealthy version of myself now in the world. It's like literally, I have changed my name from Tasha to Tasha is wealthy, right? Like I just show up as the
good.
healed version versus the way I've been so far. But we can't get to that until we've done the healing. This is not, it really is not one of those fake it till you make it things. You really have to put in the work. But for me, and I don't know if everyone else agrees, for me, just knowing there's a way out and
Mm,
the process of healing is very doable for every single person here. If you logged into Zoom, you are listening, you know how to function technology, we can do this. It's simple, right? It's
yeah,
really simple, but it just requires, I'm not going to let this define me. I'm going to do what's needed to change it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And enough is enough,
Right. And I want
right?
you to think about this, and I'm actually going to use, I'm like itching to say this, but I want you to think of very successful men, right? I want you to think of the masculine. How do they like bounce back from massive financial failures
Mm-hmm,
and just like
mm-hmm.
over repeatedly, and they do it, without like it from the outside it looks so wow, how do they do that? I know when I talk to my husband and I start going into the story of all the things I've been through, and he's just like looking at me like, do not compute. Do not compute. Because again, back to how we respond to trauma, which is very emotional. Our brain is wired differently. But the thing about watching men is that they do not cause it to define them. They just
Right.
don't. And we just have to be like, okay, I'm not going to make myself wrong for being a woman. I am super empowered. I understand why it's happening. That same why I'm so emotional that causes me to have a more intense traumatic response is the same. I'm so emotional causes me to be nurturing, caring, loving,
That's right.
magnetic, attractive, all of those
Mhm.
things, right? It has two sides of the coin. So I'm not going to make myself wrong by it. I'm going to understand it and do the things to cause it to empower me.
Mm. So good. So don't y'all want to spend more time with this amazing woman? I know I do. So we're going to open up for
Let's
question.
hear it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and open up for questions. So here's how we're going to do this. If you are with us on Facebook, put your question in the comments and I'll go ahead and bring it to Tasha. If you're with us on Zoom, you can just raise your hand and then I'll call on you. So raise your hand, use that little digital icon. If you're on the phone, unmute yourself and I will bring you on just as soon as I'm able. So just go ahead and unmute yourself. So questions, comments, raise your hand. Here's the thing. This is your opportunity to make that choice to have things be different. to have things be easier, to give yourself the gift of wealth with ease that I promise you is possible. And you might be hearing work hard, you have to earn it. Like even if that stuff is showing up for you right now, that's a signal that there's another way. There's another
Yeah.
way. So Tasha, while people are coming into queue, go ahead and share about this wealth with ease activation. So describe what it's like, and then I'll make sure everybody gets the link.
Oh my, so this in my community is Christmas, right?
I love it.
We have Christmas twice a year because we convene thousands of women from all over the world. And for 5 days, we're in this container that's all around reminding ourselves of the truth. We were meant to experience wealth and abundance with ease. And so during the 5 days, I really tap into teaching and sharing a lot around why aren't you experiencing it? Because, right, you should be. It's your birthright. It should be happening and it should be happening easily. So on day one, we talk a lot about the brain, neuroscience, how our brain is wired to actually work hard and to protect us and keep us in our comfort zone. We talk about money traumas, the 17 money traumas. We're going to talk a lot more about that, the impact that it's having. Ultimately, all of this awareness is great, but it's like, Tasha, how is this showing up in my bank balance?
Right.
Right? Like, how can I change it? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, which a lot of women, I'll just say it, deservingness. Deservingness. Ladies, we really are challenged by believing that we deserve success and that we deserve for it to be easy. It's heartbreaking to see that the thing that gets in the way is that we just don't even believe we deserve it. So we're going to talk about deservingness. We're going to talk about one of my new favorites, feminine energy, and
Mhm.
really, walking away from the masculine paradigm of how success should be created when we are not male. We are feminine and we have feminine superpowers. And I'm going to talk about more about how the female brain functions for creating wealth with ease. You can do it the hard way, or you can use what you got, ladies, which is quite frankly superpowers, and make it happen for you with ease. And then on the last day, we're going to do like the dollars and cents, the strategy. Bring your calculator, bring your number that you want, right? I'm using $20,000 a month, and I'm going to just show you when you understand all of this, how to make it happen for you with ease. So, and then last thing I'll say is because I'm big on embodiment, every single day we give you play money. So you wake up every morning and it's like, here's $11,000, go change your wardrobe. Show me the pictures of what you'll be wearing, right? We give you play money every day. It's a different
Fun.
amount, a different activity, but it really just gets us in that energy of I am wealthy. Yeah, I am wealthy. I'm playing with this and feeling into it and having fun.
It's beautiful. I am so excited about Christmas with Tasha and
That's
our
right.
community. So be sure to go to tashachen.com. That's TASHACHEN, tashachen.com/WPN. And you know what that stands for. Register, it's free. I'm curious, what if I can't be there live?
There are two options. We live stream on Facebook, so we leave the recording, the live stream up for I think 24 to 48 hours. So it will be there if you can't make it live. Also, we have a VIP option that when you register for free, there's an option, a VIP option that allows you to get the replay for life. And I'm
Oh,
telling
yeah.
you, think of this like a $10,000 coaching program
Yeah.
because these 5 days, what I teach and share and the results that you're going to see because of it in your business and your bank account and how money will flow with more ease, it literally is worth $10,000.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So thank you for gifting us this opportunity. And it's really a beautiful thing. All right, so join us, Wealth with Ease activation. And I love that you didn't call it a challenge, because come
Yeah,
on, who wants that? You.
right. No.
For sure, for sure. All right, let's go ahead and open up for our first caller, Eves Ramirez. You
Hello, good
should be
morning.
able. There we go. Good
Thank you
morning.
so much. I just I kind of tuned in a little late, but I think that is really interesting what you mentioned, um, that we all have trauma regarding money. But when you see how you identify the patterns that you have those trauma and how you just overcome those.
Mm. So, what's the question in that? Did you have a question or you were commenting?
Yeah, it's just how you identify the patterns uh, that leads you not to be in the amount of money that you were expecting or desire, and then how you overcome that.
All right, I think I get it. Thank you,
Okay.
Evie, for for sharing. For me, and I always use myself as the first example, right? This is how I learned. I think just in the question is the answer. I realize that I'm not meeting my financial goals. Maybe I haven't been able to reach my financial goals for 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, 12 years, right? Like I've been doing all the right things for a while and I'm just not getting there. That's a pattern. My husband would say, we call that a clue. Something's up. I know that you're a sister of Women's Prosperity Network already tells me Women's Prosperity Network. You are capable of experiencing abundance, a lot of prosperity. You're smart, you're committed. You are capable of doing all the things to receive prosperity. So if you're not, then there's something else that's more powerful. And for me, I just started to look at things like, man, I feel a lot of fear every time I'm going to launch a new course. Or I've had this business idea for years and I'm not doing the things I need to do with it. And we're talking about 6 years have gone by, 12 years have gone by. That is a pattern. I am literally not taking the action steps that will allow me to bring this to the world and receive the financial reward for it. Or it's things like, I don't like looking at my money. I don't like looking at my money. I feel a lot of financial fear when I think about money, you know? Or every time I want to pray for money, I feel bad. That's how you look at the patterns,
Mhm.
right? And it helps you to identify for yourself. That's how I was able to create the 16, 17 money traumas. I just saw the things that was happening over and over again. Or every time I would make a big amount of money, it would go away. Or every time I wanted to up level my business and I was in a relationship, I would just screw up the relationship so I could go to the next level financially. Like these are, you just see it happening over and over, and it
Yeah.
just tells you, it paints the picture. Something is up inside of me, right? Does that
Mhm.
help answer your question around how to identify them?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Hopefully, yes. And then the other part about, okay, and now what do I do? That's what I shared before, is once you've identified the patterns, and we're going to talk a lot more about this next week, but once you've identified them, is to really just acknowledge, I've had these experiences, I have had money traumas, right?
Mhm.
Second thing is, I will not allow this to define me or continue to limit me in any way. I'm going to heal, resolve, release all the good things. And then the third thing is, you have to start acting as if they are healed. You have to embody. I literally had
Mhm.
I literally had to start taking the actions of, okay, well, I know I have not been launching my programs or my products and bringing it to the world because of money trauma. I've done the healing work. You know what? I'm getting out there with this now. I am embodying, walking as if I've done the healing has worked. I'm a healed, wealthy woman. This is what a healed, wealthy woman would do. And so I embody that version of myself.
Mm, that was powerful. Eves, did you get all that?
Yes, some moment was kind of not some interference, but I will release it again.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you
very
so
good.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You are
yeah,
That was
welcome.
really helpful.
really good. And I think part of what I took away from what you just shared is first it's about acknowledging it's something's not working.
Yeah.
Then saying if it's not working, there must be some hidden trauma. And then, how do I identify what is the trauma so that I can heal it? And this is where A, working with a mentor comes into play, and B, also trusting the process that when you start this exploration and you start journaling and asking the questions, your higher self will provide the answer. So for me, this is where faith in the divine comes through to always take care of me when I have the courage to ask the big questions.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, let's go. Lorraine Morris, I see you unmuted. Do you have a question or a comment? Or maybe you didn't mean to unmute, Lorraine. All right, let's instead go to Susan Winner.
Yay! I am blown away by the conversation today, and I know everybody else is too. As I listen to you, Tasha, and for those that don't know, I'm a big fan of Tasha, and I spend every moment that I can around her because it helps me mentally deal with all the nonsense that I've been programmed with.
Yeah.
And I was programmed for a long time. So
Yeah.
now to undo that, right? To undo that, it takes work. And there's nobody better to work with, in my opinion, than Tasha in dealing with all of this. I know it's taken me several times to a higher level, as I even participate in your Monday morning sessions that you do. So I wish we were starting this afternoon. I wish. And I'm signed up, of course, and I'm a VIP. I wouldn't do it any other way. It's crazy not to be a VIP. I don't know. Over all the years, I've always treated myself as a wealthy woman who has the VIP experience. So that's a great way to start this afternoon or this morning to
Right.
step into that and activate your wealth, right? With ease. So I challenge everybody I invite everybody to do that. We don't have challenges anymore. Every once in a while, you got to catch yourself,
Susan, I love that. And I just want to say really quickly, thank you to all the ladies that have already signed up and you're going to come play with us next week and you are VIP. And I used to do this challenge without the VIP option. And then I decided, actually, this is such a powerful way to instantly embody wealth,
Right?
claim VIP status, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I invite everyone, and honestly, I said it on my live on Monday, two reasons. I said on my live on Monday, I'm not gonna pretend. I show out for VIPs. If you think like this is a lot, if you think 5 days of hourly sharing, teaching, coaching is a lot, VIPs get above and beyond. There's so much that I am going to do. And I just want to say also, by getting registered on Saturday, I'm doing a special live and I'm revealing the 17th money trauma. So you want to make sure you're registered and getting the information to be there to hear that one live, like hot off the press.
I'm
So,
there.
I'm there too, and I do want to double check. I'm fairly certain I registered as a VIP, like I always do. So I'm gonna
Nancy, consider it you did. Like as
I
long
thought.
as you saw the option, I know you did.
Yeah. Good. So listening in on the phone, jot this down if you're driving, can't do it right this moment. Go to tashachen.com/WPN and let's activate wealth with ease. And it's not so much, we talk about we have to work hard I want you to focus your intention on your attention. I love what Deborah Morrison talks about. She says, pay attention to your money, it pays you back. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's one of
Well
my favorite
said, Deborah.
for
Yeah.
sure. So join us. All right, let me go to Joy Cross Smith. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you're here with us on the phone, you can simply unmute yourself when you're ready, and we'll just go ahead and bring you to the stage. So Joy,
Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
can. Good morning.
Oh, hallelujah. Good morning. I am calling and I'm embarrassed to ask this question, but I've my service dog has been bothering me, so I had to leave for a little bit to take him outside. But I did go ahead and sign up for the class next week. And then I see where it says to upgrade to VIP now for only $44. Do
Mhm.
I have to join the VIP or is this class free next
Great
week?
question. Great question, Joy. Thank you for giving us that. So Tasha.
So Joy, it is my gift to you. You know, free is an interesting word. It is truly 5 days, 5 hours minimum of love, of
Oh my
showing you,
goodness.
teaching you, guiding you, to understand yourself. And if you are not currently experiencing wealth and especially experiencing it with ease, I know this might sound crazy to you, and it would have sounded crazy to me 12 years ago. So I'll be the
Uh-huh.
first to say, but I know, like I know for a fact, not because I read a book, but because I did this work and I have the receipts to show for it, we should
Okay.
all be experiencing wealth with more ease.
Okay.
Period. The end. So that's my gift to you. 5 whole days. You don't need to be VIP. I'm only encouraging you. Stepping into VIP allows you, and please don't be embarrassed. There's no need for that. Like that's trauma again. So let's just say, in this moment, it's an opportunity that I have and I can choose to do it or not do it. It's just my choice, right? I encourage you, if you are able to financially, please give it to yourself as an additional gift.
I
That's it.
believe that I will do that, Tasha, but it's gonna have to wait till this Friday for payday.
No problem.
Thank
Whenever you
you.
can.
All right.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And thank you, Joy, for asking the question to give us the opportunity to choose. And right, it's always a matter of choice. And I know for me, one of the reasons I knew I wanted the VIP is I have some time obligations blocks. I'm moving a few things so I can be there with you live, but I wasn't able to do every day. So I'm like, I want these replays. Oh my God, I get the replays for life. Hello. Plus I get bonus time. Hello. $44. So just save the link if you're not able to do it today and go ahead and do it when you can is just the invitation. And if for any reason, and again, if for any reason you're in a space where the $44 isn't available for this, that's why this is a gift. You can
Yeah,
make progress by doing the free version. So show up, not for Tasha, show up for yourself and give yourself the opportunity to step into that next level of wealth with ease. Because there's always another level available to us,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Anne asks, what time is the live?
So, and the lives are every day next week, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 Eastern. And again, it's Wednesday before, you're just finding out. If you didn't have that time available, you will, the live stream will stay on my page where as long as you register, you'll be able to see it. We have a Facebook group as well. And it will stay there for 24 to 48 hours after that day is live. But if you do VIP, you have a portal that gives them all to you, all 5 days, and you have them for life. So those are
Yeah,
the
huge.
options.
Yeah, beautiful. Raksha, do you want to speak a little bit? It sounds like you had some big aha today.
I
My
did.
dear friend.
I did. And it's emotional.
Mm,
15 years later, I'm realizing I'm still running from my ex.
yeah,
Mm,
Thank you.
you are
well,
welcome. I feel that, like, I want you to know,
it's,
I have goosebumps. Nancy mentioned that her
I
and
do
I go
too.
back a long way, and
Yeah.
Nancy was present in my life during my divorce. And so much of it involved money, you know, and me not feeling um valued, and me feeling like having to fight over money or whatever, just all the things, and you have 2 kids together, and there's just, so how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it on my own? And the control and just all of it, there was just so much work that I've had to do, because that experience and that time in my life was literally dictating what my future would be if I did not change it. And for me, thinking about my children, it wasn't even me. I didn't even think like I deserve to do the work for me, to tell you the truth, when I started. What really got me to do it was thinking, I cannot leave this as a legacy for my kids. I have to do the work to change this, to heal this, to resolve it. But I am telling you, I am a woman who feels and understands exactly where you are and what you're saying. And I'm so grateful that you said just this conversation has already given you a breakthrough. And like Nancy said earlier, trust that you were led here because you are ready. You are ready fully to be healed of this and to release and let it go and step into what's waiting for you. Something so, like Nancy, everyone, but Nancy especially. This morning, I was doing my journaling, and it was, I literally had to write, I'm sitting in my house valued at, my Audi Q7 is parked outside. I have the most amazing husband I could have ever imagined. I have a thrive, and I like made all these things. And what I realized, probably because I was coming to talk to you, Nancy, and it takes me back to the
Mhm.
beginning,
Yeah.
is truly just the result of this work. I'm not any special, more gifted than any other woman here. We are all the same. I was just willing to do the work. And I can tell you that's why I stand so powerfully on this. It is the best thing you'll ever do. And what I realized this morning was this reality was always calling me. It was always available for me. But the only way I could get to it was through to do the work that presented
Right.
itself to be done. So I say that with excitement, because I know if you had a breakthrough, then like your next thing that's waiting for you is
Mm.
like, come on, girl, let's go. Let's get this.
I'm ready. I've been ready. I've just
Yeah.
been chained up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah. Love you, Raksha. Love you, love you, love you. So glad
You'll
you're
be
here.
getting a text from me.
Oh.
Yes. Beautiful. Ah, all right, let's go ahead and we have time for one more. My dear friend Evie, your friend too. Hello, Evie.
Hello, beautiful and fabulous women. It's such a delight to have you both here. I found out about Tasha through my great friend Nancy years ago. And so, I'm just being led by spirit to tell someone, if you're here and you're wondering what's yours to do, this is a divine appointment. That's what I
Mm.
truly believe. There is no coincidence. That's what I truly believe. And, if you are being called, go with it. This, if anything else, listen, I went to several of these events with Tasha until finally, yes, I moved forward with her. And guess what? If you only want to elevate your energy next week, try it for the free one. Believe me,
Mm-hmm.
you are
Mm-hmm.
going to be elevating your energy And that's what you want to do to be able to manifest. You want to start feeling into that space. So if nothing else, believe that this was a divine appointment and go with it with an open heart, with no expectation, and see what happens. That's my invitation. I love you both, and I am delighted that you're both here. And for all the women, I think this is a great opportunity, and I'm very, very grateful to you, Tasha, because yes, there are a lot of speakers that perhaps speak about this, and every speaker has a definite divine instance for you in your life and a divine message that will impact. And perhaps for you, in some way, you'll discover that Tasha has that for you. It was for me, and I'm grateful to both of you. Love you both. Have an awesome
Love
day.
you.
Tasha.
Love you,
Thank you,
Evie.
Evie.
Isn't she amazing? So good.
So good. Thank
Uh,
you.
yes, beautiful. So yes, my friends, consider this a divine appointment, whether you're with us here live, whether you're watching it on replay, whether you're just coming in on the tail end, go back and listen, and join us next week for the Wealth with Ease activation. And one of the reasons that we bring Tasha to you is what I mean, you can feel her energy, you can see the results, and she shows up with such a beautiful spirit of wanting, like, what I feel like even with you doing this 17th reveal of money trauma, it's like, oh my God, guess what I just discovered? I can't wait to show you. Like, it set me free. I can't wait to share this.
Yep.
And that's the spirit of growth and abundance and prosperity that's available to all of us. So register, go to tashachen.com/WPN. And thank you for being with us. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. I think
I can
tomorrow's
sang
the
too.
day. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been watching you share, like, oh, look at this gift. Look at this gift. You got something from your mom. Like, celebrate, my friend. I love you so much. And grateful for our enduring relationship, friendship, colleagueship, all of that. And I can't wait to jump on your ship next week. Do you see how I did
I
that?
love it. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, telling me happy birthday. I just sure
Yes, yes.
hope something landed this morning for every woman here. Something, a thought, an idea, an inspiration, a breakthrough. That is my desire for you. And if you choose to join us next week, let's go. Let's have fun.
Beautiful. All right, everyone. We will see you next week for the Wealth with Ease activation and many other times in the wonderful world of WPN. Please be sure to visit the events calendar at our website, womensprosperityNetwork.com, for all the many ways we bring our community together to prosper and grow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye now. Bye, Tasha.
Bye
Mwah.
bye. Have a great day, everyone.